And here we are. Everything is working like it should. But it doesn't hurt to check, right? Welcome, ahoy, my name is Ike, this is Switzerland.playit, 10 a.m. Eastern, that means TAGN, the Angry Game News every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. I don't have a lot of articles today, but I have a lot of topics in those articles, which I want to address and give my 2 cents to all those stories. Ahoy, ouch my junk. And how about we don't waste more time than necessary and get into it. That's gonna be our main story. Kai Snet, or whatever his name is, he has the PTSD. My PTSD! It's not gonna work on this stream, no. EA Japan GM criticizes Microsoft layoffs and cancellations as harmful to the industry. Yeah, maybe. Last week, Microsoft announced sweeping layoffs and restructuring efforts, much of which targeted the tech giant's Xbox division. Multiple games were cancelled and projects defunded, and thousands of workers were let go. This move induced widespread condemnation and an outpouring of sadness from the industry, including from EA Japan's general manager Shaun Noguchi. Noguchi, writing in his personal capacity, posted on X about how disappointed he was to see more waves of layoffs and cancellations. He wrote, in Japanese and translated by IGN, about how the trend in Western companies to chase short-term profits and reduced long-term payoffs or stability has led to damaging the game industry as a whole. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Microsoft really cares, because, and I don't think it's like payoffs, short-term payoffs. If you buy another company that is larger than EA in Japan, for sure, for 69 billion or what the fuck it was again, I think Microsoft not going to care for your opinion, to be honest. The game industry is held up by every single creator and member of staff who diligently develops games on the ground, he wrote. As someone in the same industry, I feel deep pain regarding this decision. He later reiterated in English that Microsoft's decision to kill off projects that had been in works for many years was deeply regrettable. Although companies justify canceling projects to cut losses and avoid the sunken cost fallacy, Noguchi expressed specific concern for the staff who would have nothing public to show for their work. This is just my personal opinion, but if a game was in development for 7 to 10 years, canceling feels like the worst move. That's a decade of work, potentially a quarter of someone's entire career completely lost, he argued. Even if the final product isn't what people originally expected, I think it still deserves to ship. Something is better than nothing for both the team and for the players. He is not wrong with that statement, I would say. Ahoy, Neuro. I think he's very right, spot on with that statement. Like, you put a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of hours in something for 5 to 10 years, depending on how big the game is, right? And then you cancel, you close the studio, you lay off that guy, and he has nothing to show of this work. Like, if he wants to get another job, he's going to be asked, what did you do the last 10 years? Well, layoffs. It feels like a little cheap, like a little cheap excuse in some sense, right? But if you can like show at least what he did the last 10 years, he might get a new job somewhere else. So it's just a little bit, yeah, very painful for the layoffs at least. Noguchi's comments may be informed by Japan's culture and legal regime that both emphasize corporate continuity and enforce strong protection for workers. Japanese developers have seemingly undergone much fewer contractions than Western developers in recent years, and it's not at all uncommon for Japanese workers to stick with an employer for their entire career. Noguchi's employer, as a United States-based corporation, has been a high-profile participant in laying off staff and canceling games over the past few years. At the end of May, EA cancelled its Black Panther game and laid off staff. This followed EA's reported cancellation of a Titanfall game and laying off 300 people back in April. Yeah, I mean, he views it from the perspective of the Japanese developer, the culture there, and he's super spot on with that opinion. Although it doesn't tell a lot what some Nintendo CEO, not CEO, some high-profile manager, what was Satoru? Yeah, top executive. He took like 50% of his salary for a whole year to pay off like his staff, because in 2013, 2014, Nintendo was not doing super well because the sales of the Nintendo Wii U didn't go as planned, and they were a little bit in trouble, but they didn't want just to lay off people, so at least high-profile Nintendo executives and other ones also cut off a little bit of their salary to make it more even, to keep the staff, to keep the people, and to keep like the work going, which is a good practice in my opinion. So he has something. I think he is into something, but Microsoft still will not give a damn. Why should Microsoft, right? Money talks, and that's how Microsoft is gonna save money. You know who's not gonna save money? Psygnosis. You know, the game maker of Wipeout. You remember Wipeout on the PS1 and PS2? I don't even know if PS3 had any Wipeouts. Probably some Wipeout. But this story is kind of weird, and it's going to be a long story. I'm not going to read the whole article. There's a video attached to it which tells you the same like in this article. Don't buy anti-gravity racing on the Xbox store. It seems to be an emulated version of Wipeout on the PS1. Wipeout is one of the original PlayStation's most important games released during the launch period. Its style, speed, and challenge made a strong statement against the competition. Mainly against like F-Zero at that time. Like Wipeout, oh shit, look at what PlayStation can do with speed. The game received many sequels over the years, including the 3 installments on the PlayStation and ports to the platforms, but now Wipeout is available to buy on all Xbox consoles, except something doesn't quite right. Doesn't quite right, huh? Doesn't miss it a word there. The Xbox version of Wipeout is actually called Anti-Gravity Racing Wipeout. User reports prompted me to investigate and then promptly refund, but not before I put some hours into testing the game, finding oddity upon oddity. Yeah, and he goes in comparing all the Wipeout versions on this release on the Xbox, and he has a lengthy video, more or less lengthy, about 11.5 minutes. And he shows like footage side by side, the original with this version. And it seems to be emulated. He can't tell for sure, but he's from Digital Foundry, and Digital Foundry usually does like pretty good in-depth analysis about games and hardware and all that. So I think you get like what he's telling us here in this video. Go watch it if you like. I mainly watch it through today, and it seems like a very informative. What he doesn't tell us if it's a legal thing. I don't see how this can be anyhow legally like just published there on the Xbox store. with multiple versions from 1 to 3, Wipeout 1 to 3, and 3 has like an unreleased-ish version of the game. Everything is a little bit weird and cheaply done, and the emulation seems not to be like handling the performance of the console. Especially you can buy it also for the Xbox One. You know, the VCR, how he calls it, and what it is. The Xbox One was a VCR system. Doesn't handle this port collection at all. I kind of liked Wipeout 1. Never got the full game though. I played it mainly on the demo disc back in the days, in the very early days. I remember I saw it firstly like way back in the days before it was even like on demo CDs. I visited some relatives here in Switzerland, a little bit further away to the west, in the French region. And I had to wait in the train station there, and there was a little shop, game shop, you know. Had all kinds of weird stuff. It had all kinds of imported stuff in the store. And it had even the N64, which was like the first time I saw it actually there live in front of me. And some interesting Wipeout versions too, which were not released yet at all. Weird times. Are you in the modding community? Do you like modding? How do you feel about modding? This article is weird because them. Why I deleted my Steam account after 20 years. Modder who spent over a decade fixing broken games with the Swiss Army knife of PC gaming drops Valve, saying it has fragmented PC gaming irreparably. Polarizing drama brews in the brewery that is the PC gaming and modding ecosystem. TAGN, best known as the creator of the Special K utility mod that has brought its Swiss Army knife of PC gaming performance boosts to a range of game from Nier Automata to Elden Ring, fired a near 1,500 word diatribe at Valve's hull in a scathing GitHub post simply titled, "Why I Deleted My Steam Account After 20 Years." It has sparked some discussion. TAGN, in a post spotted by PC Gamer, notes they've spent. So here it already starts. They. It's one guy. I didn't found any other sources. It's just one dude. Whatever, right? They've spent over a decade modding broken, underperforming, or otherwise inconvenient aspects of PC ports, with countless players turning to Special K to shore up wonky performance or missing features. My experience with PC gaming goes back a further 2 decades, to the days of shareware dialing into a BBS bulletin billboard, or what I think it was bulletin billboard systems. It was a very old system. You put your phone on a thing, on a recorder, and then transmitter and thing, and before it was analog, it was more analog even. To get game patches, user-generated content, and tedious DRM fetch quest involving physical game manuals they add. Ahoy, Evereden. Ahoy, Nicaris. What a lovely name. What a lovely name. I want some ketamine, not a Special K mod tool. No, only Special K for all of us. Not even now, probably. Who knows? Even in these before times, TAGN says Valve wasn't their favorite. I was irritated when Half-Life 2 shipped on PC and required a dedicated piece of software to satisfy DRM and patch the game. But at the time, these were minor inconveniences. Of course, you don't write 1,500 words and torpedo a seasoned Steam account over minor inconveniences. TAGN's arguments are numerous, but the most important line in this post is probably this. The proliferation of Steam for content distribution has fragmented PC gaming irreparably. In this instance, Chaldean makes the argument literally. You no longer have the liberty of buying a game from wherever you want, they claim. You must consider whether your store is going to continue receiving patches, whether the store itself is going to continue supporting your hardware and software, and whether your friends online bought the game from the same store as you did. Thank you, Epic, for partially addressing this. Much of the post argues that Valve through Steam updates bloated the living hell out of the DRM client with all kinds of unnecessary and undefeatable features that hinder software compatibility, effectively ratcheting up system requirements for games through the launcher those games are played on, even when the games themselves may be compatible under the hood. The store you bought the game from is squarely responsible for your game not running, Chaldean says. Where discourse around Steam usually targets the monopoly Valve has been handed, or the cut the company takes from Steam sales, compatibility and performance permanence feel like the core of Chaldean's grievance. From forced updates and outmoded Steamworks creation, the Steam input overrides, and the handling of deleted Steam accounts, with a somewhat odd emphasis on community posts, Chaldean takes aim at the purported fragmenting of the user experience and the impermanence of purchases or data entrusted to Steam. I mean, he's not wrong in general. Like, you have no control which patch you can download. You just can't download like the latest patch. You can hinder to patch it in general. But once you patch it, it's patched. You can't go revert that stuff, for example. It is what it is, right? There's some value to having a store automatically update your software. There is literally no value to a store that forces patches on and offers users no path back to the working version of the software they initially paid for. Chaldean summarizes. Yeah, but you agree to the ULAU, right? You say, yes, I agree to that, and then install the game and all that bullshit. Unfortunately, we allowed all that to happen. Ahoy! Breakfast taco. Hi, all hope everyone is doing well. We are fine, I think. The chat has to respond to you. Ahoy, haste, by the way, too. Where the heck was I? The history behind this post and the response is arguably more interesting than the post itself. But while I don't expect this to even register to the zillion Steam users who mostly, but not entirely, value convenience and don't even consider compatibility issues outside the steady march of operating systems and hardware, the arguments aren't empty. This post has come at peak stop killing game season, and the two arguments would probably get along swimmingly if they met at the bar. But, and this has become a water cooler chat for everyone else, so here I come strolling in with my little plastic cup. It doesn't seem much more granular and isolated. Valve and Steam are not infallible, but neither is the post's gospel. In particular, I trip at Chaldean's assertion that the Epic Games Store and Microsoft Store, or services like Ubisoft Plus or EA Access, respectively, don't have bloated features unrelated to DRM cramped down your throat or offer far greater value than to consumers compared to Steam. I don't think that's what his issue is. He's just operating or started operating on Steam mainly, and he had like the opportunity to operate on Steam because of the Steam Works and to include his modding software in the whole ecosystem there. So that he doesn't address it maybe directly, those other companies, doesn't mean shit, really. The post also heaps praise on GeoG, which makes sense for 95 thesis about version preservation and user control, and I can generally get behind that. But it feels like some arguments may have grown so thin you could see your hand through them. I don't know what he means by that last phrase, but I also know that he has jack shit ideas really about GeoG, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because on GeoG, yes, you can download the whole game, DRM free, store it on whatever storage you have laying around. But unfortunately, most of those downloads have also the newest updates only available. Maybe with try and error you find like old software laying around on servers, like if you know exactly the whole installation name, you can maybe type it in with the newest URL. But I doubt that GeoG really keeps like every version on their server. Otherwise, they would provide it to you already to be downloadable, like every version. Because honestly, for example, I don't like Witcher from the big major version 3 and upwards. Witcher 3, that is. Witcher 1, version 1 and version 2 were great, and it started to like fall apart like a little bit on version 2 and upwards to version 4 point whatever we are now. I'm fucked, how are you? Yeah, that sucks to be you, Mick Eison. But ahoy, anyway. So what do you think about a guy who is they, them, by the way, like I mentioned already, going away from Steam and just deleting his account, and it doesn't seem like he told us if he's gonna stop making those add-ons, those mods and all that with his case system there. He just had enough of Steam, I guess. You know who had enough of piracy? As usual. For some reason, they are very successful with that shit. And I consider that shit because I like to live on the high seas. FBI takes down big Nintendo Switch piracy site. Today it was revealed that the FBI has taken down NSW2U, a website connected with piracy on Nintendo Switch. NSW2U housed plenty of ROMs for games on the console. If you had a hacked Nintendo Switch or a working PC emulator, some could download content from the site and play those titles without legally purchasing them. The FBI went after the website in accordance with seizure, blah blah blah. That's the whole legal text there. I mean, I guess I can show you how it looks. That's what they show you usually with additional information. That's down here. This notice is provided when attempting to access NSW2. Dutch agency FIOD was also involved in the takedown. Seems to be like the financial crime department, a financial crime department there in the Netherlands. Piracy has been an ongoing battle for Nintendo over the years, and for some reason they are winning them like nobody else does in this industry. It's weird, in my opinion. Why have they so much power, and why can they succeed so easily, it seems? During the Switch era, things seemed to ramp up, in part because the system was hacked early on. One of the more recent developments involved Nintendo filing 2 lawsuits against modded hardware with the sale of mod chips and MIG devices, as well as James Williams, who was said to be involved with the pirate shops that distributed unauthorized games. Yeah, I mean, I guess you deserve if you sell like just games you didn't own and didn't buy, and just being a normal reseller. I think you deserve a little bit backlash, a little bit punishment there, to be honest. I'm so glad Nintendo protects me from this great evil. What would I do without my corporate overlords? You would be sad. That's That's what you would be. Ahoy, Godzilla. Involved in the games. Nintendo also went after populator Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu and UrhG. Yeah, they got another one, another big one. I never used this site, but yeah, I mean, it's gone. They felt safe in the Dutch lands. They are not safe in the Dutch lands. If they might have not gotten money for stuff like that, because otherwise, why would the FIOD, this financial crime department in the Netherlands, be involved? They must have sold shit, getting payments for ROMs, like for bundles or for something. I don't know. I don't know how this really worked on their website. But I think you're being stupid if you take money for that. Don't do that, and maybe then the Dutch laws protect you. I don't know. UrhG Galaxy sucks. Yes. It's not the greatest launcher and downloader. It is less worse than Epic, the Epic launcher. Epic launcher sucks ass. Because you can with the Galaxy pretty seamlessly if you reinstall it on the same system. Just add the folders and it downloads what it needs, like to make it work again. Like only the partial little side installers or requirements and all that. Other than that, the navigation, yeah, leaves a lot to be desired. I agree. Trying to profit from piracy is a bad idea. It's a stupid idea. I don't know if it's a bad idea, it's just a very, very stupid idea for sure. And a little sad news, if you have watched that in the past or if you're still watching it. One of the Pokemon's most prominent voice actors has died at 71. James Carter Cathcart, a prolific voice actor known for his work on the Pokemon anime and English dub, has passed away at the age of 71. Voice actor Erika Schroeder confirmed Cathart's passing on Instagram. R.I.P., I guess. Cathcart began work on the series as the original voice of protagonist Ash Ketchum's rival Gary Oak in the 1998 pilot. He was also one of the few actors who stayed on the show after the dub was handed over from 4Kids to the Pokemon Company in 2006 and went on to voice Professor Oak and Team Rocket villains James and Meowth, as well as dozens of other roles across the series run. Cathcart retired from voice acting in 2023 after being diagnosed with a throat cancer, but was able to contribute to the original Pokemon series finally that premiered that year. The show has since moved on to new cast and storyline with the Horizon series. Rest in peace, dear sweet man, Schroeder's post reads. I will miss you, the community will miss you, the world will miss you. One of the most joyful, exuberant, kind-hearted, and talented souls no longer walks with us. James Carter Cathcart. What a nice name, somehow. Carter Cathcart. Is that his real name, though? Seems a little bit like too much artist-like. You were one of a kind, a gentle, beautiful, playful genius, and I was happy to call you my friend. Master of the pen, piano, and microphone. Friend to many, loving father and husband. Thank you for your gifts. I mean, I never listened to the English dub because at that time I saw it on the German screens. But R.I.P. for a guy who did a lot of roles in the show. They have a little depiction here who he voiced, R.I.P., buddy. I never watched Pokemon anything. I helped a kid used to babysit beat the Game Boy game on. Not sure what the hype over Pokemon is all about. You don't know because you don't never catch them all. You never caught all of those little creatures. Sounds like a you problem, Godzilla. You know what sounds like a me problem? That I have to talk about this again. Sucker Punch says the best way to play Ghost of Yotei is to find something interesting on the horizon and enjoy the ride. And thankfully, since Breath of the Wild, that's the only way I play open world games. Yeah, sounds like a game journalist there. Sucker Punch held its big Ghost of Yotei deep dive presentation today, giving us our closest look at the sequel's stunning open world, combat story, and systems. At one point, we see a shot of protagonist Atsu riding on horseback through a glittering field with an imposingly pretty mountain range in the distance. Tucked away in the misty mountains, I can just make out a temple of some kind. And I think that looks cool. I'd like to go there. Ghost of Yotei isn't going to rush you through anything, says the narrator. Queued up below. You can choose what motivates you most, but we think the best way to play is simply to pull out your spyglass, find something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride. I don't know, man. The writer makes it sound like that's super new. The spyglass, I guess, yes, that's the biggest new kind of addition. Other than that, you could have done all that already in Ghost of Tsushima. And I don't know about the story. I don't know about the story. I haven't watched this, and I'm not intrigued to watch it, at least not today. Ever since the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild set a new precedent for emergent gameplay in an open world games, and those nurtured my ADHD-addled mind by allowing me to do whatever and go wherever I want and reward me for it every time. That's the only way I've been able to enjoy open world games. That's a stupid, lame fucking excuse. I have ADHD. I'm so glad this game just gives me like the freedom to do whatever I want. No, I hope it doesn't work like that. I hope you have to get better, meaning you get new abilities by doing the main story and not just walking around and all of a sudden you're fully powered with every ability, with every weapon, and with every style of fighting with your sword and all that shit. I hope it's not like that. If it's like that, this game is dead already, I'm telling you. But I'm pretty sure this ADHD addled mind will understand how this game should be played. Meaning, follow the story, get the new ability to play it how it should be played. Oh, those people. No interest in that game whatsoever. You are not the only one. You are not the only one without interest. I mean, if I get the chance to download it, because high seas, right? I might. I'm not saying I will for sure. I might. Depends on how the gameplay really looks at the beginning. Just pointing that out. Because when a game is just shitty, I'm not just, even if it's for me able to get it for free, I'm not just gonna get it. I don't care for free shit just because it's free. Oh, and did I peep the new spyglass feature? Yes, you did. That'll make it even easier to spot interesting landmarks far off in the distance to distract you from the main quest in hopefully satisfying and meaningful ways. Yeah. I don't know about those people. Those retards. Retards. Game journalist, as usual. Ahoy, Pico Boy! I'm mainly concerned. I'm gonna repeat myself. I'm mainly concerned about the story. What is the story? Why is she fighting? That's the main point. Why is she fighting? And I've read already stuff why she's fighting, but so far that doesn't sound interesting. She's just a mercenary and doing killing for money mainly. That's what a mercenary does. And she's still after some shogun types because they killed her family and all that. So revenge is her motivation in this story. It can work. I'm not saying it will work. Can work. But compared to Ghost of Tsushima, where you were a guy who fought in an honorable army against the invaders, and everybody was killed beside him, you know, he was in that sense spared because he was saved by what was her name? I forgot. Yuna, I think was her name. She saved him from the battlefield, nurtured a little bit his tortured body there, and from there on he fought against the invaders. As a samurai, he started as a samurai, as a very honored samurai, but that was not enough. He had to fight a little bit dirty. She has from the get-go, as a mercenary, it seems to be dirty already. So I don't know if that's gonna be a good story. Who knows? We have to wait. I think, what was it, October this year, something, some crap like that. Can't see it right now. I'm pretty sure it was October this year. About what, 3 months-ish? Okay. Oh yeah, that was like, I almost thought I should change my thumbnail and my title because of this story. This one is a little mega stupid. A little mega stupid. Here's how Trump's cuts to arts and science funding have affected video games. And people who watch me regularly know I'm not a big Trump guy. I think he's a snake too, especially after what happened recently. You know, oh, you're still talking about the Epstein list? Oh, you're really still talking about that? Iran has atomic nuclear bombs, by the way. I mean, I have no proof for that, but neither do I have any proof, supposedly, for Epstein. You know, there's the Epstein list. Oh, so stupid, all this. So my point is, I'm not a fan of Trump. I don't give a shit about Trump. But I'm even a less fan of shit like that. Hi, hello, like you, fuck you, sorry, fun, you, I mean, what the fuck are you talking, black monkey guy? Or gay, sorry, you're a... Cocksucker, San Francisco. One of those guys. Through its first 7 months, the Trump administration has made massive cuts to public spending that have affected nearly every area of American life. From weather reporting to and disaster response to arts funding, video games are no exception. The administration's sweeping cuts have halted games preservation programs, virtual reality projects, and even game-related public health research. Game-related public health research. That's bullshit. Okay, you can either stop... okay, you're not stopping. You want to get bye-bye forever. That's one of my rules. No spamming in my chats. Fuck off. You can be gay anywhere else. Yeah, I don't know about game-related public health research. What the fuck should that be? Has anybody really any idea what that can be? I mean, I reported like 3-4 weeks ago something like Sony published this free game about climate change and we have to change now or we're gonna drown in bullshit. Is that like the same game-related public health research? A report from Game Developer details some of the efforts affected by the lost funding from the University of Washington's Game Research Group, which launched in 2024 to improve the accessibility of critical video games in cultural heritage institutions for educational purposes, to a grant for a program at Arizona State University helping Latinx students develop games about climate change. Like major fucking BS right there. And just gonna repeat myself. I don't like to repeat myself, but I want to make it very clear. I'm not a Trump fan, but that he managed to get rid of that shit, I'm glad. It's just a fucking waste of money. Letting students develop games about climate change. Who the fuck have ever asked about that to be developed in the first place? Who really in the healthy mind thinks like, yeah, we need really a lot of climate change research for one particular group, the Latins. Who ever thought about that crap? I don't know, man. It's crazy. Ahoy, I will. Thank you for the following there. Are we still talking about Epstein? Come on, MAGA. I'm already in office. We can't drop this whole client list deal. It's old news. Everyone moved on. It was so last year. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Latinx sounds like a Twinks. It sounds like an insult to everybody who is Hispanic, you know? It sounds like an insult. Because the language is like German, is in that sense like has a gender behind everything, pretty much. But to make it genderless in that sense, it's just a stupid idea, and you're gonna insult a lot of Hispanic. Some projects had their funding removed just as they were about to complete. Rabindra Ratan, an associate professor at Michigan State, was developing a program to reduce issues of Zoom fatigue and other types of gender and race inequities in the games industry related to virtual meetings. Oh, it's so painful, man. It really is. It's really painful. Like, what's wrong with you? What's going on in your fucking head? Like, why do we need to reduce Zoom fatigue and combine it with gender and race inequities in the games industry related to virtual meetings? That is so specific. It's not like inequities in general, it's in Zoom meetings. That's just insanity to me. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I try to understand it. I'm not stupid. I'm really not that stupid. I might be retarded, but I'm not that stupid. But I really don't see how anybody can think about funding such bullcrap in the first place. A 1.6 million US dollar grant from the National Science Foundation's Future of Work program enabled Ratan's work, but the Trump administration rescinded the grant earlier this year, preventing Ratan and his team from accessing the $200,000 they needed to complete the project. I am fucking glad he canceled that shit. I'm fucking glad Trump managed to cancel that shit. 200,000 US dollars? Give me that money. I can go to the US, establish a business there with that money, and we're all more happy. I'm guaranteeing it. I'm just saying. Radan and his crew had built a virtual meeting space designed to be an effective alternative to Zoom. The platform is still accessible by the public, and Radan intends to publicize more of the program's findings, but it will remain unfinished for the foreseeable future. Other multimedia projects like the virtual reality game Pacha have been affected on multiple fronts. Pacha lets players explore the Peruvian Andes as a student archaeologist. The loss of funding has halted collaboration with the San Antonio Museum of Art and with inhabitants and workers in the village of UrhG. Sorry if I butchered your place there. The name, where the game is set. The developers are now hunting for new places to get funding. That sounds at least like a project you might enjoy if you are involved in it as a player, but I don't see the real value for whom that is. Like, it's all, again, very specific. One village there, and you're gonna, what, go around there and then dig out stuff? Or what? But at least way more interesting than the Zoom fatigue crap. The video game industry helps drive technological development, exploration, and experimentation, Ratan said. So the cuts could have an impact that reaches beyond the games industry. No, absolutely not. At least not with your project. With your project, the whole industry is way better off. Not fucking being distracted by Zoom fatigue. Fuck off. You're just salty because you're not gonna get to work with your stupid research. By limiting research in this industry, it is limiting science as a whole, Ratan said. Oh, he's a Tony Fauci fan, I guess. Or a little Tony Fauci. I'm the science! There's a slightly more direct negative consequence here in the hindering the progress in the games industry, namely being that progress in the games industry leads to other industries. Yeah, but your research, I am 99.998% sure it leads to no fucking where. It leads only in your pocket. It leads in only just giving you something to do. Other than that, nobody profits really from your work. You can read the full report, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, go check it out. As usual, all the links down below if you want to check out what I'm talking about here. And to the main attraction. Time-wise, we are not bad. We are not bad. Yeah, you missed the troll there. Sorry. Sorry, Neuro. Sorry that you are so lame and checked out other crap around the globe. How are you doing, Neuro? It kicked me out of my studio. Why the fuck? I should be still on. Everything is still okay. Yeah. Okay. I have to give a disclaimer here. I don't know anything really about Kai Cenat or Cenat or however you say his name. So, but I've tried to watch just for this article a little bit something of his stuff, and fuck off with your PTSD. Just fuck off. That's all I can say. Now, I'm going to tell you no more in a second. Kai Cenat describes having PTSD after streaming for 30 days with no break. On a recent episode of the popular web series Hot Ones, famous streamer Kai Cenat claimed he went through PTSD in the aftermath of being in front of a massive audience for 30 days straight on Twitch. He also ate some hot wings covered in very hot sauce and screamed about it because that's what you do on that show. Yeah, I sometimes like to watch that show, but not too often. Interesting show, like eating hot stuff and sweating while telling your story. Kai Cenat is currently the second most subscribed to creator on Amazon-owned video game streaming site Twitch. With over 18 million followers on the platform, Cenat has become a bona fide celebrity. In August 2023, he was famous enough to accidentally create a dangerous large mob of people in New York City during an advertised event featuring a large giveaway of high-end items. I vaguely remember that story, but other than that, I don't know anything about him. So, of course, someone as famous as Cenat has been invited to appear on Hot Ones to answer thoughtful questions while suffering through the pain of eating too much hot sauce in one sitting. Ahoy, Nibil! Good to see you! Even if you could get PTSD from streaming, I would never admit it. I wouldn't want to be called a bitch for the rest of my life. I view him not only as a bitch, I view him as a hypocritical bitch. It's even worse. PTS from making living streaming, we're getting weaker. Yeah. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents in a bit here. Let me read the article. Let me finish the article. Never seen his stuff, but you're right, Nibble. Soft ones. Soft ones. Okay. On July 10th, Hot Ones posted the latest episode in the series featuring CNET as the guest. After consuming many hot wings covered in increasingly hotter sauces, CNET was asked about what it's like streaming for 30 days straight, 24/7, with no breaks on Twitch. He's done this twice now during what he calls mafiathons. I think I understand how important it is to make a promise to my community, said CNET. So if I'm saying I'm gonna be on for 30 days, 24/7, I think it's very important to show. That's my mentality. Like, I think it's fine to push myself to the limits that I didn't think I could do. 30 days, 24/7, but I'll get on camera. It's crazy. It's a lot of pressure too, cause you want to make sure everybody that's watching is enjoying the time as well. After Hot One's host and fantastic interviewer Sean Evans pointed out how hard it must be to plan 30 days of entertaining content, Cena talked about what happened after the stream ends, and it sounds miserable. Yeah, it's crazy. After 30 days, I can't imitate his voice. I don't care that much for even trying. Every time when it's completed, the next day I'll wake up like trying to get out of PTSD off. Like people watching me, said CNET. It's like I go through a weird phase where I feel like I'm being watched. But when you get over that, you'll be good. CNET, I'm not sure I'd ever be good at doing 30 days of streaming and dealing with the aftermath. Hopefully the young streamer is careful and doesn't push himself too hard and burn out like so many others. Anyway, here's the moment, blah, blah, blah. And you can watch the whole show there with the hot wings. Look, good for him that he is like super famous. He makes a lot of money, and that's where the issue comes in my opinion. In his mafiathons, how he calls them, in the last one, he made roughly, it is hard to estimate, between $750,000 and $2 million for one month of work. And it would be maybe even harder work, really, if he had to plan out everything. Like, what should I entertain my audience with? Should I do this today? Should I do that? If he would be alone, it would be even harder, you know? The thing is, he has a whole fucking team who helps him out easily. Meaning, when he sits in front of his computer, his desk, he has his regular setup. So he just sits around and talks to the audience, and maybe games sometimes, I don't really know. But being a little bitch, a little dishonest bitch, a little hypocritical bitch like that. Oh yeah, I have PTSD because I felt like I'm being watched the whole time. It's just fucking weak. And I watched his last stream yesterday. He streamed lastly on Twitch. I just scanned a little bit through the video on some places there, some time stops. He was driving his kids to a Target, I think it was, and buying for his kids something and driving back. About 3.5 hours or so the whole journey was. In the whole time, he had his camera team with him, he had bodyguards with him, and like I said, in his mafiathons, he gets like hundreds of thousands of new subscribers over that 1 month, you know? So I don't know how much work you put really into that thing, and you have not done this like something new really. Do people remember Big Brother? Like the show Big Brother, a complex where the cameras are pretty much everywhere. Only the bathroom, like when you're on the shitter, you're not being filmed. Other than that, everybody, at least that's our versions here in the Europe, many versions were like that. Even when you banged somebody there in Big Brother, cameras were there too. Like, you were being watched all the fucking time. You know? That's just what I mean. Like, you're being very, very bitchy about this whole issue. Like you, I mean, technically you can call it PTSD. I agree, technically. Post-traumatic stress the disorder. You can maybe wake up, oh shit, am I being watched again? No, the month is over. But you made such an insane amount of money, and I don't know why people watch your crap. It's just boring to me. Like watching you driving your kids to a Target, buying them. I think it was actually Pokemon cards in his last stream. Driving back, being protected by bodyguards, making millions in a month. How much more money he makes in a whole year, I don't know, but you are a fucking bitch for just bitching even about having PTSD in the first place. How did you diagnose that yourself, by the way? Or did you go to a doctor and talk to him? Yeah, I feel like nervous all the time. I don't know what to do, man. I am out of my mind, doc. No, I'm pretty sure he didn't do that. And even if he did, you have all the money to fucking get a therapy. Oi, Luigi. So I don't know why people watch a guy like that, but it is what it is. He makes tons of money, good for him, but bitching around in that sense about PTSD because you had a 30 days 24/7 stream. And I tried to find out if there was a camera in the shower or anything like that. Nothing of that order. So he had his breaks somehow. And he slept on camera, yes, but other than that, he just lived his fucking life and was filmed for 30 days. I don't think it's a big fucking deal. I just think it's not a big fucking deal to get that amount of subscribers, money, and just the money of the subscribers alone is like I said, between 750k to 2 million. We have no real numbers, not explicitly numbers on that. How much more money did you get about those bits and whatever Twitch has? Like how much more of that money you got too? Like on addition to the subscriber. It's just insane, this whole streamer career. I have gotten no fucking money. Should I have also PTSD because people are watching me every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on this channel? Where's my money, bitch? I just find it insane, man. I stream for a living and don't do manual labor. Please pray for me. What? My mental health. No, my PTSD. My PTSD. That's why I made... I think it was well deserved, this story, this main story today. Swiss disorder. Serious, man. I'm not a Swiss disorder. That's not even a thing. What the fuck? Just give me your money. I'm going to be happy with more money. You're going to get even a little alert, even on this show. Or subscribe. Make yourself red in the chat. How about that? Anyhow, last little story. More gayness, more woke. Woke has not died, by the way. Many people just think, but no, I think it's very well alive. Help fight ICE and get 100 games and over 400 tabletop RPGs. What a stupid story. And I didn't know that was a thing, but you're gonna see. One of the better things to have occurred in the recent years is the rise of the itch.io protest bundles. Millions of dollars have been raised for various vital causes through the generosity of developers throwing in games by their hundreds, in deals that have done incredible work to not only make money but also noise about these issues. The latest already at $40,000 after a day is no ice in California, where $10 will get you an astonishing 560 games, 427 of which are tabletop RPGs. Just the numbers. We have just to figure out the numbers. So you get for $10, you get 560 games. That's a big amount of games, right? So you might get for $1 one decent game, like 10% maybe, you know, like 60 games, maybe 50 games that might be decent. You might want to install them and play for 10 minutes. So it might be actually valuable for $10. I don't know. The whole platform seems to be like not appealing to me. Like, yeah. We have other bundles, by the way. So other recent itch fundraisers have included 2020's bundle of for racial justice and equality, which raised an extraordinary 8.1 million for Black Lives Matters related charities. Oh yeah, that money goes to the houses of the high top managers of Black Lives Matters. So you saved those lives. Good job. And 2022's bundle for Ukraine that brought in over 6.3 million. That's nothing, man. Come on, the USA alone at what up to now 200 billion or some shit like that sent to Ukraine to get those people killed and kill each other. Good job there. You're raising another 6.3 million. Good job. I'm really proud of itch.io. The most recent high-profile example raised money for those affected by February's California wildfires. That might be at least, sounds like a better cost. If the Californian authorities can't save you from the wildfires, at least you can raise money together to give them something back. I don't know. And this week has seen the launch of the latest No IC in California, raising money for the Immigrants Defenders Law Center in LA and races in Texas. I'm not going to read the rest. The rest is about what the bundle are including and all that shit. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I always think money raising stuff is fine. I have no issue with that, but with some bundles, like for Ukraine, for racial justice, Black Lives Matters, how about fuck off? How about you go and fuck off? Fuck off! I don't know, this way? Go this way. I don't care. Just fuck off. I was not intrigued yet to check out their bundles right now. They might have like maybe a few good games. Who knows? With that amount of games, could be something good in between there. But I doubt it. Let's put it that way. I doubt it. Would you look at that, guys? I managed to do a nice full hour there. Not too many articles. Let's check out the chat towards the end here, to the very end. Ice baby. What the fuck is this? I just read it to you. Shouldn't these guys be arrested? What? No. Yeah. Why? No. Don't destroy your First Amendment just because you have different political views and stuff. Don't ever destroy your First Amendment. Let them talk freely. Let them raise money freely. I mean, out of this article, I can't see anything like they do protest, like physical protest, like a violent protest against the IC and all that. Don't destroy your First Amendment, because it's gonna come back to you, man. It's gonna bite you in the ass if you are like for more government's control. How well did that go, by the way, since 9/11 with the Patriot Act, huh? How many terrorists really you got arrested? It's all bullshit. Political bullshit. Don't trust any of those guys. Just let them raise money for their stupid, idiotic cause. Don't worry. Trump should offer more games for supporting Ireland. I mean, for that amount of money, he could raise maybe his own money there. Sure. Ahoy, Hilljack. Itch has a lot of crappy games. Oddly enough, a lot of the LMNOP community releases games on there. Yeah, I mean, it for sure it gathers like the same mindset people there. I bet. The games will mostly be walking simulators of crappy visual novels about transitioning. Yeah. But like I said, if you get like 560 games for $10, you might have something valuable in this package. It must be, just like mathematically, it has something to have, something for you to play. Just by the numbers, by the sheer numbers. I'd sell the farm for some Pong. You and your fucking Pong. Don't remind me. What? Oh. No ice in Cali, no water at all. Don't you remember those fires? Yeah, that's what I said. At least they try to raise money for those people, because the government is not protecting you there either. Why not? Not every cause is bad, you know, every charity cause. I mean, I don't know the details though. Some of the funniest part of my day is seeing the American liberals on my social media post. I managed to do my X feed like as much with cats and dogs. I love that it shows me a lot of cats and dogs stuff. I don't want to see anything else actually. If it's gaming related, yes, but political stuff, it's all bullshit. Because you're not going to be informed on X. You're just not going to be informed. X is like this mind cancer for short messages. You're not going to get the truth on X either. No real news. It's all just mind cancer. It's going to destroy our generation, man. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I'm a lot on X, but X really is gonna break your brain. It's gonna give you brain rot over time. That's why I have all the cats and all the puppies videos there. TCA Gestapo, yes. I mean, I'm raising money, by the way, so if you give me all your money, I can go back to the US and let the TSA touch my schlong. I managed to do that. I forgot the number. 2 US 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time it was like 8th time I let the TSA grab my junk. And I told them, no, I'm not going to go through the scanner. You are allowed to grab my crotch. You're going to touch my dick. Some find it funny, others are like a little bit annoyed. Oh, I'm not going to touch your dick, sir. No, you're going to touch my dick. That's your fucking job. You choose that job. So shut up. Go a power grab, totally, as usual. But I understand what you are saying, Ike. This is towing the line very close to treason, though. What, the money-raising thing? Not at all. Not at all. What treason? You can raise money for everything as long as it's peaceful. That's what I mean, really, with don't destroy your First Amendment. As long as it's not going to hurt anybody physically, you just have to endure that stuff, because you can say the same stuff to them. Like, go fuck your mom, fuck her in the ass, fuck her all night long, hurt her badly if you want to. But you have to make it clear with your word. Hurt her badly if you want to. Not hurt her. That would be maybe considered a little bit more inciting violence. You know what I mean. Power Gap totally. Remember Action 52 though? No. Can't say I know anything about that. Luigi? All of these bootleg cartridge had maybe one good game on there. Probably. I think you're a clam. X thinks you're a clam. No, X, you can manipulate X to give you like the correct feed you want. Puppies and kittens, man. Puppy and kittens. Fear the Swiss schlong. No, don't fear this. Just touch it. You're gonna be fine. It's not gonna bite you. All good. Hold up if you need this to pleasure you. That's why I need your money. Without your money, they can't touch my schlong soon enough. At least. I need money. Where are my monies? Where are my donations? Resist IC crap is almost treasonous. No. You can protest. That's the main thing. First Amendment, man. Protest. Protest the shit out of the government. IC is also part of the government. Don't get in the mindset of those are the good guys just because they are against that thing you are against too. Don't get in that mindset. Because tides can turn. Sides political can turn. And all of a sudden, you're going to be arrested by the ICE and deported, even as a US citizen. That already happened, by the way. And Trump already claimed, like, yeah, I mean, we might take like the most violent people, US citizen, and deport them too. This thing. And I'm not saying like it's not right to fucking put those violent people in prison, but it's a fine line. It's always a very fucking fine line. Detroit is not a state. I'm not, but left wants to protect illegals that needs to go. And we are getting very political here at the end. Illegal towards what definition, though? That's what my biggest issue I have always with those definitions about illegal this, illegal that. Because I didn't make all those laws and all that shit. The government at one point made those laws, and all of a sudden, what was legally yesterday is illegal today, and you were raised with that legal stuff yesterday, and all of a sudden, because the government says this part is illegal and all that shit. I'm just never gonna trust the government, no matter what. All the laws, in my opinion, have to be according to your constitution. Meaning your constitution in the US, my constitution in Switzerland. But the government usually doesn't give a shit about the constitution. They make like 99% of all laws are against the constitution if you go like deep dive on all those things, by the way. And many people are brought in by the government for whatever reason. It's a whole mess. It's a whole fucking mess. The government can go fuck themselves. How about that? Okay, let me finish this. Don't get me railed up here, bitch. Protest fine, interfere with the law enforcement reason. Not if the law enforcement is like treasonous in its nature by itself. Police is actually unconstitutional, even here in Switzerland. Sheriffs, buddy, sheriffs. Fuck the government. That's all I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Oof, burning. Many who espouses anti-ICE rhetoric want to erasure of the USA. They want to protect illegals. They are my enemy. I should live stream trip over the Darien Gap. I don't know which the Darien Gap is. That being said, the government is also not my friend. Yes, keep that in mind. Government's never your friend. Anybody who wants money from you, just because they deserve it somehow, and otherwise, if you don't give them your money, you're going to get in jail. Something is wrong. That is tyranny, by the way. That is the definition of tyranny. You not doing something they want, and you're going to be punished for it. That's tyranny. Taxation is theft. Throw rocks at the ICE agent. You forfeit your right to live. Oh, that's a view there, Nibble. I only support them when they do something right. I never support government. Fuck all the governments. I learned my lessons about the governments. They don't deserve my support in any regard. Removing criminals and saving kids. Saving kids part is always good. Is removing illegals is needed, so I support that. Criminals. The Federal Reserve is not federal at all. It is a parasitic entity forced on us. Half of our government agencies were supposed to be temporary. Oh, there another point. Patriot also just temporary, right? But it was renewed every year so far. And both sides renewed it. Remember that too. Patriot Act. You being defined as a terrorist by some douche in Washington, and you have no rights anymore. Even as a US citizen. Your constitution means jack shit at that point, according to them, right? Anyhow, guys, it was a nice talk towards the end. I enjoyed that. We can call all Godzilla government shill there. Government bitch. No, Godzilla good guy. Often. Most of the times. I hope you have a great fucking day. That was it from me. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland.playit. Every day, 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. 10 a.m. Eastern, that is. I talk about games, video games, hardware, TV shows and movies, and give you my 2 cents about the world and all that crap. And it was very funny towards the end here. A lot of people showed up. I enjoy that a lot. And I'm going to tell you something. Might have no quotations really. I would love to make like maybe a weekly show, additional show on the weekends, maybe Saturday or Sunday, about 2 hours, like a recap, but in a podcast manner with somebody else. But for that, we would need somebody else who will be like there every time, like I am every time, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Time-wise, I don't know, but yeah, would be nice just having like an additional podcast, talking live with somebody on voice. That said, I got 0 monies from you. I am so disappointed. I can't go to the US too soon, unfortunately, because I'm poor and you're also poor, it seems. You know, I mean,
if you're a broke boy, just say so.
If you're a broke boy, just say so. Just say so, man. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. I don't know if that helps, but click the thumbs up button, yeah. Might help. Thank you, Neuro there.